Hello, everyone. I'm John Choi, a professor of Handong Global University in South Korea. Very nice to meet you online. And let me start my PPT so that you can understand what's going on in this class. Well, this is the first page. And as you see here, this is a UNESCO UNITWIN online course supported by Handong Global University and Ministry of Education, Republic of Korea. And this course is called Worldview Studies. And I am, again, Professor John Choi to teach this course. I hope you have seen my course syllabus so that you understand what's going on in this class. So let me start from the first part as an introduction. So my question is here, what is worldview? Well, worldview, I would say, is a life. Okay, worldview is a life. And I hope you can understand why at the end of this course. Well, this course looks at various worldviews that directly and indirectly affect us today. So it is an attempt to see many different worldviews in this world, and we will see some strong points and weak points of each worldview so that we can understand, but at the same time, we evaluate them quite critically. And furthermore, we will try to seek alternatives for the weak points of each worldview. And we will first look at the introduction, and then we will investigate many worldviews like biblical worldview, theistic worldview, naturalism, nihilism, existentialism, Marxism, postmodernism, Hinduism, Buddhism, New Age, Islam, Confucianism, and social Darwinism. There are many Western worldviews, but also Oriental worldviews, as you see here. Well, this course is developed on the basis of my teaching experience at Handong. And I hope this course can help you to understand many worldviews. Well, let me start then to ask what is worldview. If you look at this man, okay, this man is looking at the world, but the worldview he has in his mind as a set of presuppositions. What are the presuppositions? Well, presuppositions are a kind of mindset you have already in your life, in your thinking. If you have an Asian mindset, can be different from European. And worldview is, in other words, like a map. Okay, if I want to visit Myanmar, I need a map of Myanmar so that I can orient myself to understand where am I and where am I going. And if you want to visit Korea, You need another map of Korea, right? It's the same. So map is your worldview that is really necessary to orient yourself in your life, right? Thirdly, worldview is like a glass that you wear. If you go to the beach in the summer, you might have a sunglass. If your sunglass is a blue one, the whole world will look like blue. If you have a red color sunglass, the whole world will look like red. So your sunglass determines your view of the world. Lastly, worldview can be like a frame of reference through which you understand the world. Or you can say frame, in other words, a window. You might have windows in your house or in your classroom. And if all windows are closed by the curtain, then you cannot see outside. But if one window is open, then you can look outside through that window or through that frame. So important is that which window is open, right? So worldview is like a window through which you see outside, you understand what's going on in this world. Well, I can explain another example. It's a Dutch proverb. I quote, water is the most close friend, but at the same time, it is the most fearful enemy. Why do they say that? Well, if you look at the map of the Netherlands, well, I used to live in this country for almost 10 years. You understand, here the land is very low. So Netherlands means low land. It's very low, even lower than the sea level. So if you don't protect your land against the water can come in and you have a big problem here. So if you visit the Netherlands, you can see not only the sea, North Sea, but many lakes here, many rivers, and many canals. And especially in 1950s, they had a big flood in this area. So many people died, injured, many houses lost, a big disaster in the country. So after that, they began to build a dam to protect against the threat of the water. So they have built this kind of special dam can be open so that the ships can go and come, but if necessary, they can close it to protect against the threat of water. So Dutch people understand the water as one of the most close friends. They like swimming, they like skating in the winter, but at the same time, it can be the most fearful enemy. So in their worldview, water is very important. Another example I have read when I landed at the London's Heathrow Airport, I saw this sentence, and I quote, how the world sees you depends on how you see the world. How you see the world is your worldview, right? And How the world sees you depends on your worldview. It's very insightful advertisement, I thought, isn't it? Another quote from Pastor Rick Warren of uh, Saddleback Community Church in California, USA. He wrote a famous book, Purpose Driven Life. And here he said, I quote, "The way you see your life shapes your life. The way you see your life is your worldview, and that shapes your life. That determines your future." Another very insightful statement, isn't it? So I want to show you very concretely these three pictures. Same image, but totally different interpretation. You see, what a style. There's one view of this person, a special hairstyle, but another people thought him as a military soldier. But there are some other people who thought him maybe he's a cancer patient trying to survive, you see? So the way you see this person determines your interpretation, you see? And another image, the same advertisement. If you see this architecture, the power at the Pisa, Italy, some say it's perfect, but other people say, wow, it's very dangerous, imperfect. The same applies to these two images. Some say it's a perfect piece of art. Another, wow, this is imperfect. It has no head, no arms. Well, if you have an open mind, you can understand all, right? So I looked at carefully who made this kind of advertisement. Well, it was a bank called HSBC. And they say an open mind is the best way to look at the world. Well, yeah, it was very impressive to me. And I thought maybe this bank tries to have this kind of open mind to all kinds of clients, to accept them and to serve them, right? So this is a very worldview oriented advertisement, I thought. And this is another picture. Sometimes you can have battles, war, if you have different worldview. Well, this is what happened in America. And there were many Native Americans who had the worldview that the land is their home and they are one with the land, so they cannot sell or buy. But what about the white pioneers? They thought the land is to be conquered and sold. So they had to fight against these Native Americans. It's a very tragic story, isn't it? Because they had different worldview. So what is worldview? Again, the worldview determines the motive and vision of your life. Some people establish a consistent worldview and live a life faithful to it, while others have a chaotic worldview or do not live a life consistent with their worldview. But no one lives without a worldview. And I hope you agree. And one man named James Sire, an American author who wrote a lot of books on worldview. He said, I quote, I'm convinced that for any of us to be fully conscious intellectually, we should not only be able to detect the worldviews of others, but be aware of our own, why it is ours, and why, in light of so many options, we think it is true. Okay, I hope you understand what he means. Now, this is my point. Unexamined life might end in a total failure. If the word that you believed was right turns out to be a wrong one, and you realize that you have only a few days left in your lives, you will have no choice but despair. So we have to examine our worldview, right? Well, if you don't examine your life, it might end in a total destruction. This film, called Der Untergang, in English Downfall, is about this man, Adolf Hitler, who started the tragic World War II. Well, he had a very wrong worldview called Nazism. What happened? What was the result? At the end, he killed himself, and all his soldiers and the whole country, the whole continent suffered greatly. So it's really important that we have a right worldview. So what is worldview? Etymologically speaking, it was originally invented by German philosophers like Immanuel Kant. It is a kind of view of the world very intuitively. So the German word is Weltanschauung. Welt is word, Anschauung is a very careful look at. And when this word was introduced in the Netherlands, neo-Calvinistic scholars in the Netherlands, such as Abraham Kuyper and Herman Dooyeweerd, they invented the term word and life view. In Dutch, wereld en levensbeschouwing. This they used as a special term. In English, it is translated into worldview. And in Asia, in Hinduism, you have the Sanskrit word like loka. It means another word for word. And also in Korean, we called seige word. Se means generation or time. Ge means space. So word view means a view of time and space in which we live. So I try to explain the word worldview and the meaning of it. So let me stop here first and take a pause, and next time I will move on furthermore to explain the definition, function, and types of worldview. Thank you for your attention, and we will see you next time.